Hi, so in this video I wanted to talk about fixing a graphics card issue that I've been facing while configuring my Debian installation on my Tuxedo Stellaris 16 Generation 5 laptop. And so basically, yeah, I've been working on this like for weeks at this point, but finally I have found a satisfactory solution, although there are still some kind of questions that I have about it. But basically I have solved the major thing that I've been facing, so now I can actually start using my GPU properly. And so this is what I wanted to share in this video. So let me go ahead and switch to my screen capture view. The video that I found that really helped me was this one it's by the channel called DenshiVideo. It's called Nvidia Optimus, a comfy guide, and it's a very good video. So like he explains things like this is literally the only tutorial that I have found so far, and I've been like researching this topic for quite I don't know, like weeks at this point. Like I said, trying to find like some kind of comprehensive guide as to like how does it all work, like what config files do you need to edit, like what config files do what. And like this is kind of the video that gave me most information that actually made sense, rather than just giving like a bunch of random like, oh, like do this and this and then or like try this. It's just like, it's instead of it being like these disjointed tips about what you might want to do, this is kind of a more comprehensive guide, and I really appreciated this video. So thanks to the creator of this video for making it. And so basically I really recommend you watch it. He also goes through to actually how to like manually edit the config files, which I also did partially, but then there's an automated way as well. Like there's a script that you can run. And I'm going to be mostly talking in this video about the automated way, so I'm not going to go through the manual installation or like through the manual editing of the configuration files. So if you're interested in learning more about this, do watch his video. It's really good. So he also links from his video to these two pages, like this Wiki article, which is like his own wiki, where he explains the entire thing, and like also a good thing to read. He basically like the video and the article are like go together, so you can like refer to it, and it'll give you also a lot of like the same information that he talks about in the video. So yeah, this is the article on his wiki, and the second link that he gives here in the description is EnvyControl. EnvyControl is a script, a Python script that you can install, and it will do pretty much the same type of configuration that that Denshi explains in his video, and but he does that manually to show you how all these files, like what files are being edited, and like what is being added to those configuration files and so on. But this script does basically the same thing, but it does it automatically. And he also covers a bit about this script in his video. So I'm gonna be like focusing more on the script in mine, but yeah, it's really good to go through and like learn about like what config files are involved. It's definitely valuable knowledge to have, and I totally recommend you read this article and watch that video, like I said. So let's see. So EnvyVideo is the thing that I'm going to be talking about the most in this video, or did I say EnvyVideo? EnvyControl is what I'm going to be talking about most in this video. And yeah, so this is basically what worked for me really well, and this is the solution that I settled on. I also have been using these two articles on Debian Wiki. One is about Bumblebee, which is basically like, if you manage to install this, you should be able to do like Primus run and then your command, whatever it might be, and like that would run that program that you're launching through the Nvidia card, as opposed to your like built-in Intel card. So basically, yeah. So like the situation generally, I guess, like I could just like say briefly that like you have like your built-in card, like which is Intel, and you have your Nvidia card, which is separate, like a more powerful one. But like they both coexist on your system, and you have to like tell the system which one to use in certain situations. So like this Primus or like Bumblebee thing is supposed to be able to like give you a way to like run any given program on Nvidia, but like otherwise use Intel for the rest of the things, because it's like less consumes less battery and so on. So this is like what EnvyControl and what like also Denshi refers to in his video as the hybrid solution. So let me see. Yeah, so like hybrid system. Maybe we can zoom in a little bit. So like, yeah, hybrid system. And he, like, by the way, his tutorial is not for Debian but for Arch Linux, and but basically a lot of the same principles apply. And yeah, like on Arch Linux you apparently are supposed to like install this Nvidia-Prime package, and that would allow you to run like prime-run, like what I typed here as Primus run, is like that's what it's supposed to be on Debian. But like I keep talking about this, but the point is I never got that to actually work. Like here, like this article gives you some instructions. Like it says, for users who would like to use the proprietary driver, which is, by the way, something that you install with the command sudo apt install Nvidia-driver. So that's how we install the driver. That's the proprietary driver. There's the open source Nouveau driver, but the proprietary one works better like with the card, at least at this point. Certainly would be nice to have an open source driver for it, but yeah, so I'm using the proprietary one at this point. So yeah, and it says like for users who would like to use the proprietary driver, make sure like the contrib and non-free components are enabled in the sources.list file, and you can install like apparently like these three packages, and you're supposed to be able to do like Primus run, run, and then your command, like whatever it is, like be it a game or like anything else, and like it would draw that window with the Nvidia GPU. But it didn't work for me. Basically, like what I was, the only thing I was able to like, the only point I reached with it was like to get it to work with my like primary laptop display, like the built-in display, but it didn't work with like it. Like as soon as I installed these packages, if I went like, so let me show you. So like if I run xrender, it shows me all of my available displays. So like as soon as I installed these packages, the only display that was showing me is this one, the built-in one. But then I also have the secondary display connected through the HDMI port, and that did not show up at all. Like, and actually none of these other things, which I'm not sure what they are, but none of this showed up. So basically, like, the only display that showed up is this first one. So that's what happened there. Now, so yeah, that was like my experience with trying to get like this Bumblebee / Primus stuff to work. And there's this also this other article on Nvidia Optimus, which, like, I guess like another name for the same kind of technology, like Optimus, Bumblebee, and Prime, or like, yeah, Prime, and Primus is the command that does the thing. It's just like, I'm not really sure what all of these like separate individual terms are referring to. So, but like, these have been my results trying to get it to work so far. But the point is, I don't think at this point I have found this other solution that works fine, and maybe I don't need to necessarily, at least right now, figure out how this works. Although it would be nice just like to be able to just like type Primus run whatever, and then it runs on my Nvidia GPU. I would certainly like that, but like I said, the results have been this, and I'm already super tired of trying to figure this out. So I'm just gonna go with the solution that I found so far, which is basically this EnvyControl script. Like, what it does is, like, it has this switch option, and it says here, switch the graphics mode, available choices, integrated, hybrid, and Nvidia. So like, the integrated, or like the Nvidia is like, everything will run on your Nvidia GPU, like absolutely everything, and that's probably the mode that I will be using my laptop in at this point, at least, unless I figure out the Primus thing. This is the mode that I'll probably be using the most. I already tested it, and like the game that I'm interested in playing right now, which is FlightGear, ran very, very well on when that mode was enabled, and I'm going to show you how it runs in this video as well. So like, this is probably what I'm going to be using for the most part. And then if I need to, like, you know, take the laptop somewhere else where I don't need all the like super powerful graphics, but I would like to save more battery, then the integrated mode also like just disables the Nvidia card completely. It won't even show up like as an available device to the system. So like, that's just like, that's also available. So I don't have to like always use Nvidia, but like I would have to like run this command and switch over to the integrated and then reboot my computer. So like, but at least this is satisfactory, because at least I can use my GPU right now. Like, I can use my GPU right now, because up until this point it has been really glitchy. And like, so yeah, the hybrid thing, I couldn't get it to work so far, but there's probably a way, but I don't know what it is. And if someone who's watching this knows what the problem might be, please reach out to me. I would be very interested to hear what you have to say about that. So, okay. Now, enough for this introduction. Now, just to show you how things are set up for me physically right now. So this is my Linux laptop, Tuxedo Stellaris 16 Generation 5. Then you see my Mac over there, which is like hidden behind this main monitor that I have over here. So this is my physical setup. Alright, so now I'm back, now I'm recording from my Linux laptop, and I'm gonna go ahead and say a few words about installing EnvyControl. So basically, the instructions for Debian are somewhere over here. Here we go. Basically, what you need to do is to download the package from the releases page of this GitHub repo, and then install it. So this is a very easy thing to do. So you just find the releases and go in there, and then download this package. So what I like to do personally is I right click and copy link, and then I I go to my like temp directory, I already have like an Nvidia folder there, and I would go like wget and then paste the link and then press enter, it would download the file. But I already have it downloaded, and in fact I already installed it as well, so I'm not gonna do that right now, but I just wanted to show you that. But basically, yeah, you could also just like save it, just click it and save it from your browser, and then yeah, like once you install it, so like I would run sudo apt install then // and then the name of the file, so like you have to be in the directory where the file is located, so that, and then run this command, and the package would get installed. So this is very simple. Yes, so this is how you install the script. So yeah, let me now try and demonstrate what happens. So like right now, basically I have it, let's just take a look at it in the terminal. So like if you type in EnvyControl-h or --help, you can view all of the options that it has. And like we already saw, it has these 3 modes. So what I have right now enabled is this hybrid mode. Now what I'm gonna try to demonstrate now is basically how like this is gonna be like the best kind of I could do so far when it comes to using the hybrid mode. So basically there was this yeah, let me just open the browser again for a second and go to, let me see, this Nvidia Optimus page on Debian Wiki again. And yeah, so basically I tried doing this, like you set 2 environment variables, and then you put your command, basically run your command with these environment variables set. So let me just try and go back in my bash history and find some, yeah, like this is one command that I ran before when like playing FlightGear with this, with these like using this approach. So like, by the way, like if I launch it, let me just like first try to launch it without those environment variables, and like it's also important that I recorded my phone because it's easier to see like all the glitches directly. Like as you can see, it's like I don't think it's even responding to, yeah, like I know, no, it's responding, but it's just like it's really slow and kind of jittery and all that. And that is because like if I go to like help about here, you can see that over here it says that it's running on Intel graphics. So that's the reason. So this is just like, this is not Nvidia, or it's not running on Nvidia. So let's wait for that command to finish. Or I guess, yeah, okay, fine, finished. So now I'll find that command again, but with those variables set, and now I'll launch it over here. And if I go to about, it says Nvidia and Yeah, so it runs on Nvidia. You can see this over here. Here's the name of my graphics card. So that worked, but then like so let me see, like there was like this rendering glitch that I encountered when trying to play FlightGear like this, and it had to do with anti-aliasing for some reason, which didn't work when using this method. So let me try to maybe find that command that had anti-aliasing there. Yes, okay, this would go. So like this over here, it says like multi-samples equals 8, so that's like maximum anti-aliasing. And if I launch it right now, let's see if that gives rise to that glitch. Oh yeah. So like you can see how the trees and the shadows are rendered incorrectly now. So like when anti-aliasing is enabled, it's just like everything looks very, very unnatural. Like this is not how FlightGear is supposed to look when you like play it, like, and everything is set up properly. So this is like obviously unusable. So I had to play it basically without anti-aliasing for a while. But today I finally like found this solution, and it worked well. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna switch to Nvidia-only mode and show you what like FlightGear is supposed to look like when everything's working properly, basically, or like any game really. Because like when I enabled that, it's just like everything was just like ran perfectly. Like there were no glitches, no like weird rendering issues or like anything. It just like ran smoothly, and you can feel that it's like, okay, this graphic card is doing what it's supposed to do, because like it's a very powerful one, and like it should be able to do that. And if you do this, it does that. So yeah, I'm gonna run EnvyControl verbose so that we can see what it does. Hopefully we'll give you some idea about like what config files are being edited or like added and changed and so on, just to have a better idea of what is going on behind the scenes. And so then I will go switch, and I'll go switch Nvidia. So let's run this. All right, it requires root privileges. There's that. All right, so the command is running now, and it is doing stuff. Hopefully some of this output, maybe you're wondering what like is going on and what it's doing, and it gives here some information. It will make a lot more sense if you watch that video tutorial that I mentioned in the beginning of this video, and like the wiki page that is related to that. So, but yeah, basically, so it ran through all these steps and did its thing, and now it says that please reboot your computer for changes to take effect. So I'm going to do that. I'll type sudo reboot, and then I'll stop the recording now, and then once it's rebooted, I'll restart it and we'll continue. Okay, so I rebooted the system, and now I'll start my window manager. And here we go. So the first thing that I want to show you is that like the scaling has changed. Maybe, like, I'm not sure about the built-in display, because like it's always been very small. It's like 2560 but by 1600 resolution, and yeah, it's everything looks pretty tiny on it all the time. It's probably probably the same, but like on the other display, like the top bar looks much smaller than it used to. So like the scaling has changed for some reason once I enabled Nvidia-only mode. But yeah, so I'm not sure what it is all about, but that's how it is. And also, like, as you can see, like my monitor is now like mirrored for some reason. And or like not for some reason, I know why it's mirrored, because like I mean, maybe I don't know the ultimate reason why, but what I do know is that like if I run xrender and I compare like these identifiers for the displays, like this EDP and this HDMI, they basically changed when I enabled Nvidia only mode. I don't know why, but they're different. And I guess I can, let me see, like if I zoom in so we can see everything better. Clear. And right, so xrender, let me just search through my command history. So like these are the names as they were when the hybrid mode was enabled, or like just like the mode without any EnvyControl or any like graphics configuration whatsoever, except for installing the Nvidia driver. But I don't know, like it probably didn't, I don't know like what it did for the HDMI display or any of this, like these display names. I don't know if it affected it, but it was installed before that. So I also have I think it was like -1 like, yeah, so this is the new names. So as you can see that EDP1 became EDP1-1-1 and HDMI-1-0 became HDMI-0. I don't know why, but this is how it is. Maybe if someone knows, please leave a comment. I'd be interested in hearing what you have to say. But like right now, I'm going to run this command that will stop this weird mirroring thing, because right now it's like, not only is it mirroring, it's also like cutting off the bottom part. Like if you, let's see if I can get it in frame. So like if the mouse moves downwards and like here it's hitting the bottom of the external display, but on the built-in one you can see there's still more screen there. So like yeah, this is what's happening right now, but I'm going to run that so that right now, yeah, it works. So now I move the mouse like up, and or like, let me start at on the external display. So like if I move it down, then it pops up at the top of the other display. So they are configured the way I intended to configure them. So all right, so let's now get to the good part, or like to the most interesting part about FlightGear. So like right now I can actually just use it's probably super tiny font for you, but maybe yeah, basically I'm gonna press the super key or the meta key plus R, and that will pop up this little run prompt over here. And then I'll type GFS FlightGear Flight Simulator -- launcher, and I'll open it up, and here we go. And I'll just launch it from the graphical environment this time. Like the reason I was like avoiding using the graphical before is because like whenever I would use it, like that glitch with the monitor freezing would pop up. So like I would just like launch it from the command line for that reason. But yeah, that's obviously not very good, well configured system. So I put anti-aliasing to ×8, so that's the maximum. And yeah, everything else is like configured. Basically, like it's like everything, all the graphics are at the highest setting right now. So like this is gonna be like a demo of what the Nvidia card is capable of when it's enabled properly and like and yeah, like and everything is set up properly, enabled properly, and like all the settings of like a game are set to maximum. So like let me make it full screen. So like if I just change it to this view, like ignore this weird shadow, that's just because the simulation is paused and the airplane is like in the starts in the air. That's just like a FlightGear thing, but I can actually hide the shadow for now so that it doesn't distract us. So you can see like the graphics are rendering very, very well. So if I just like move around or like yeah, like look around, everything's rendering very, very well. It looks amazing. Like atmospheric light scattering is enabled, which basically simulates the real life like how light like is behaves in like the real world. So this looks really good, and you can see that there are no those weird artifacts related to anti-aliasing that I showed you before, and like all the trees look normal. And I guess I can even like unpause it and just like play it for like a few minutes just to give you an idea. I'm not gonna record with OBS right now because I just kind of, this is just like this video is already pretty complicated, and so that's just what I'm gonna do right now, just like record it with the camera like this. So let's see, let me switch to the cockpit view, and like what is weird about FlightGear is that like I can enable that shadow again. It'll go away once I unpause the simulation, and like when you start the airplane in the air, it starts out it's like it's shut down basically. It's not, the engine is not running, so like I have to just like auto start the plane first. And let's see, okay, let me unpause it. So yeah, let me unplug my headphones so there's sound as well. But basically, yeah, here it is in action. Looks great. This has how FlightGear is supposed to look, and the laptop is doing its job, the graphics card is doing its job, everything is great, and yeah, so people have been asking me to do a review of the laptop, and I am gonna do this quite soon, and I think I'm gonna use FlightGear in that review again, and I'll probably record it with OBS properly at that time. But like for now, this is just like the same thing but using a camera. Because this is just like what I'm interested in playing at the moment, and that's like I don't know how to run any like graphical graphic cards tests or anything like that. So I'll just use this game to try and give people an idea of what this laptop is capable of. Let me speed up the simulation a little bit so that we can maybe find something behind those hills. But it's just like, it's just more, no! Pause. I messed up. What's happening? Okay, this is not that bad. Just press the wrong button once and you're in trouble. Okay. What are you doing? Why is it switching? Okay. Let me level off that. But yeah, okay. So I think this is gonna be like enough for now for a demonstration. So hopefully you can, like, the point is that like Nvidia is working, like the graphics card is doing what it's supposed to do. I'll close this now, and all right, so we did that. Now I'm going to I am going to switch to the Intel only mode. So right now we're in the Nvidia only mode, but I'll just use EnvyControl again to switch to the integrated mode. So that's gonna be sudo EnvyControl -- I'll give it the verbose option again so that we can see what it's doing, and then switch integrated. Alright, so it's running, and we're now going to switch to the integrated only mode, which basically it disables the Nvidia card entirely, and that should allow you to save some battery if needed. Yeah, this is what it's gonna do. So like the Nvidia card isn't even gonna show up as a device available in the system. So again, it asks us to reboot. So I'm going to do that and restart the recording once I have rebooted. Alright, so I rebooted, and as you can see, like in the console there are like a bunch of errors and warning messages have appeared, and that has to do with the fact that we just disabled our Nvidia GPU. Like over here you can see that it says no Nvidia GPU found, and yeah, this is basically why those messages are there. So now I'll start X again, and basically what you can see right now is that like my external monitor doesn't work, like and if I open up a terminal and I just run xrender, I will only get the output for my built-in display. So this is the same situation that I got when I installed Bumblebee and Primus and all of those packages from the Debian that the Debian Wiki article recommended. So like I have them over here somewhere. So like apt list or like, sorry, just like these packages that are over here: Bumblebee Nvidia, Primus Nvidia, and Primus VK Nvidia. So like when I installed all of that so that I could hopefully use like the Primus run command to run a command, I got the same situation with xrender, like with the display setup, that like I only my built-in display would get recognized. So there's probably some connection there. I would imagine that it would be possible to configure the HDMI output when you have only your integrated graphics enabled but not the Nvidia GPU. Like, it doesn't make sense that it wouldn't be possible. There's probably just like some configuration that needs to be made, but at this point I don't know what that is. And this solution to just like have the ability to switch between to basically use like EnvyControl to switch between Nvidia and integrated, like, is good enough for me, because most of the time I'll be using my laptop at home and then I'll just like run Nvidia. But then like if I need to take it out somewhere, I can always like switch to integrated, and I'll probably won't need the HDMI output in those situations, and if I do, I can like switch to Nvidia in that case. So like this is a satisfactory solution for now, and that's what I'm gonna go with. But if anyone out there knows how to configure things such that both displays are recognized, like in these two situations, when Bumblebee and like all of these packages are installed, like what configuration file needs to be adjusted, and like I'd be interested to know that. And like be in the situation where like only the integrated graphics are enabled, but not the Nvidia GPU that is completely disabled. And like if I run right now ls PCI and I grab it for Nvidia, we won't get any output at all because the entire graphics card is disabled. So like even the system doesn't see it at all. So so yeah, this is pretty much we're coming to the end of this video at this point. What I'm going to, the last thing I want to show you is that like once you switch to the integrated graphics mode, you can't switch to the Nvidia-only mode right away. And like that has to do with the fact that PCI, like the script has to know what PCI slot the Nvidia card is attached to, and if it doesn't have that information, it will ask you to switch to the hybrid mode first, and that's what I'm going to demonstrate right now. So sudo EnvyControl, let's do verbose again, and switch to Nvidia. And here we get an error, and it says here that could not find Nvidia GPU, try switching to hybrid mode first. So I'll do that. And so like if you switch to integrated, you basically will have to reboot twice. I have tried like running, like switch hybrid and then immediately switch Nvidia, but that doesn't work. You have to reboot first so that like the PCI slot is recognized, and like the script can see like, oh, Nvidia card is that PCI slot, and then it can switch to that. But otherwise it won't work. So like at this point I'll have to reboot again. So I've rebooted, and now we're back in the hybrid mode again, and like again that top bar is scaled. That top bar is scaled differently. Looks larger than what it would look like in the Nvidia-only mode. And right now I'm going to switch to the Nvidia mode and then reboot again. switch Nvidia. And it's running. And now we'll reboot again. Okay, so I've rebooted and my displays are mirrored again, as you can see there. So I will run that xrender command again. I believe it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. So that now I have everything properly working. And yeah, this is basically it. So this solution is all right. It works. It allows me to use the graphics card, and that's kind of the most important thing for me at this point. But I still hope that like a better configuration can be done, so that like you could use Primus Run to launch any app that you want. And have it use the Nvidia graphics card, and hopefully that like HDMI display issue can be resolved as well somehow. But at this point I don't really know why that might be happening. I have opened the thread on Reddit. I have posted on both. I posted on the Tuxedo Computers Reddit, and also on the subreddit, and on the Debian subreddit as well. So I will, and I posted it yesterday, but I figured out the solution today. So like I'll update that post with this video, and basically, yeah, maybe someone who reads that or who watches this video will be able to provide some further guidance regarding these issues. But yeah, at this point, like this works for me right now, and I think the main thing is that like you can use your graphics card at its full capacity with this solution, and yeah, this is okay. And so basically, yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you found this video valuable, and I will see you in the next one.